All right.
Yeah.
Coming to you live from some fucking rock quarry in Japan. I am Brick Racing. And we are fucking, I'm high as fuck. And this is Toku House Party, episode X, Return of YENSHIN, featuring Planet. What's up,
Yeah,
dog?
sure.
The more medicated Return of YENSHIN.
Bro, we're all fucking medicated. I just came out. It's been what, like 2 months? There we go. Everyone, what's up, guys? Probably Al. Oh yeah, this shit's sponsored by the Al Combo. If you haven't fucking got his shits already, I have 2 pairs of his fucking Jungle Fury Muay Thai shorts. Bro, that's a fucking dude.
They're badass.
I should have worn mine for real. Like honestly,
Bro,
anytime I'm online, I see people wearing his shit, and I'm like, all right, now I don't want to buy it because I see everybody with it. You feel me?
Nah,
So
bro,
I'm like,
I was the
damn.
one that started
Get that
it.
shit.
Bro, I'm the brain behind the Al Combo. Well, I'm the one that feeds Al the ideas. The hockey jerseys, me baby. No, I'm boosting myself up. But yo, Planet, tell us a little about yourself, man. This is like outside of that space, and obviously, me and you've been like friends through like Twitter, like for a decent bit. Yeah, man. But me and you actually have never like spoken face to face. But like,
I'm saying, like, yeah, it feels like we're like besties, but like I've never actually like met
right?
anybody like officially. Yeah,
right? Like it's so weird. Yeah, man. Like, hold on, I gotta send that. Keep talking, man. But like, as we've been like what friends for a couple months now, and now it's like now we're here. Well, dude, welcome. I'm really fucking happy to
thank
have
you,
you.
man.
Yeah, dude.
I guess I'll start like so I mainly am a DJ. Like I guess because I guess I'm never in a situation outside of like hip hop spaces to explain what I do. So you guys are actually really like appreciate it and understand it. So
Yeah.
off rip, the planet name doesn't have anything to do with space, like nothing at all. It's just kind of just something I happen to just come up with. So I used to play competitive Pokemon, you feel me? So when I was playing competitive Pokemon,
shit. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, I'm like Smogon rules, you feel me? Like I'm not really into VGC or anything. But so I had a buddy of mine, he made my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Starmie. So he was like, what do you want to name it? My real name's Omar, so I pretty much just like did like Mars, and then I was freestyling one day and I was like Planet Mars, and I thought that was hard. But then as I got older, I was like, all right, well let me cut like the Mars from it because that's a little cumbersome, and I just became Planet. And then as for like the Toku side of things and like what I do now, a few years ago I started a show series called Morphin Grid because I wanted something that was like cool for me, but I also wanted a gimmick. So I wanted to throw like show series and just be able to put on like different artists in Baltimore City and in the DMV area and everything. And then that kind of grew to me taking DJing like a lot more seriously and just developing Morphin Grid into like a DJ collective. And now like we really kind of lean into like the nerd aesthetic and just trying to find a medium ground for people that want to go out but also don't want to be in mosh pits or like at like super hype events or stuff like that. So the grid is just for us, you feel me? Just for people to be able, like, you want to smoke, you want to have something to do. We actually have a sponsor, 443 Gaming, so like they provide video games and monitors for every show that we do. And we have vendors as well, clothing vendors. The homie Al is going to be the vendor at the next joint. So it's honestly,
let's go.
Yeah, shout out to him. Like, but for the most part, like the DJing is where it's at for me. And then I kind of try to incorporate the Power Ranger things just as like a way to kind of show what I'm into, because I feel like some people can be very like one dimensional with the things that they're into. So I was like, why not? Like, why not just because at that point it kind of makes me stand out, and everyone loves Power Rangers. At least like in the community that's not us, like we know it as Toku, but to other people it's just Power Rangers or just like Kamen Rider or something, and everybody has something they grew up reminding themselves of. So the grid to me was just a way to kind of include all the rappers, all the artists, all the musicians that I knew, all the cool people, and just kind of give them a place to come back to that's neutral ground. You feel me?
I fucking love that, dude. I love that, man.
Yeah, man.
No, dude, so like I've been like outside of like Toku, I'm into like music too. I'm into like hardcore music and like heavy stuff. That's kind of how I met Joel, is through that kind of scene. Then we found out like, oh shit, like he was doing True Gunpla for a while. He was I've bought shirts from him before. I bought shirts from him before this. He did a bunch of stuff with another company, right? Which company was it? Holy
It's
Mountain.
I mean,
right?
I've worked for a bunch of different ones. Yeah, mainly
Yeah.
worked with a lot of bands. Everything from like grindcore bands to black metal bands to grave diggers, you name it.
I
Yeah.
can dig it.
Yeah, bro. So like that's how him and I kind of met. Then we just kind of fell into the Toku circle together. Well, I kind of dragged him in, but
Yeah.
yeah, I dragged him into it, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is yeah."
We got one of the
And-
strongest fandoms.
Bro,
like we
right?
all,
Like Toku,
as soon as we know, like either we hate Pookie or we love Pookie, and we all besties.
bro. Listen, I said for my birthday, all I want is an N-word pass and a pack of Tops Tops Desert Storm. That's all I want for my birthday. And bro, I don't know, that shit Herb said on that shit Herb put on the timeline yesterday had me fucking crying. That fucking shirt that I told Alfie to make that shirt.
Yeah, he definitely has to, just for the sake of just for wearing it for real.
Bro, that and the Von Cooper shirt. Everyone needs a Von Cooper shirt. But nah, dude, like, I don't know. It's been a weird week with Toku. Yeah, it's been like a weird, really weird week. But before we get into that, kind of tonight, we're gonna listen to Joel's new fucking tape tonight, baby.
Shit! Oh, should we get into it? All right, let me give a little like preference on this. So it's only 4 tracks, just because I have a lot of beats that are a lot of different themed tapes. Like there's a Trailer Park Boys one coming out.
Sick. I need parts of that. I need parts of the Trailer Park Boys one.
There's of course Gundam ones. That was like the main driving. So I've only been making beats on paper for 78 days technically.
Really?
It's been over the course of like a year, but like from January till now I've been clinically depressed, so I haven't really been doing it much of anything. But yeah, so this one is called This Mix 13. It is all the samples for all the songs except for one are all from the original Showa Kamen Rider background music, all sampled. Some of the vocal clips are from a Japanese B movie called Bloody Chainsaw Girl, and it's also the cover image. And then also there'll be a trigger warning for one of the songs. It's very brutal sounding. I'm actually also a death metal vocalist. I've been in bands since I was like fucking 13, kind of shit. Always loved.
We definitely gotta get you to Baltimore. Because we have such a huge hardcore scene out here. Like, and I'm in the electronic scene, so like it's so.
It'd be sick. So I'm originally, I was like born in Connecticut, but I lived in Florida for most of my life. And then I moved to North Carolina. Baby. So I'm definitely a Florida kid, but I was playing Neptunes and Brass Mug and all that shit. Like when I was a kid, playing with like
fucking Brass Mug.
Yeah, I mean back then it was fine. They allowed shitty deathcore bands like us to play, so it was cool.
Deathcore.
But yeah, so I everything I do is all finger drumming. I'm autistic like that, so everything's finger drumming. I can't do Fruity Loops. I can't do like programmed.
I was gonna ask you what program you use for
Machine, strictly Machine. I make everything in Machine. I use Reaper for like podcast and like kind of like clearing, just cleaning up the tracks after. But everything's done in Machine. I go off of a Micro MK3, and then that's not allowed on camera. And then my Gold Boy, MK2. It's my shit. Nice. So before we get into the tape, you've heard this track, Max, but I've been dabbling with like breakcore shit, some little like drum and bass shit.
Nice. Now you're talking my language.
I fucking love Kamen Rider Xaid. My first show was Wizard, and then I watched Xaid.
Nice.
And like I'm obsessed with that shit. So this one is Toku Crisis, based off of Homegirl's Gacha sound. So previously I'd done a track called Blast Off, and that
shit was so fucking hard.
That straight shit is sampling is the only sample is my Forze belt. That's it. I literally sampled the belt directly.
That's fire.
This is the same deal.
I got a belt from Kuga, so whenever I can, I'll make sure I get a clear like sample of all the sounds, and I'll make sure I send it to you. I got you
for real. So this one's definitely more like breakcore-esque, but same thing. The samples are just from the gacha. That's it. Nothing else. So if I play it through here, it should play through. Can you hear this?
Warning.
All fingers.
Crazy.
Insane.
So like, you know, basic shit.
Ooh. And you said that you played that, like you played that in?
Yeah, I finger drum everything.
Crazy. That's how I know you could DJ, because that means like you can keep a beat, you feel me? So it's like you got like that tempo and everything.
I've been playing producer shows here locally. We have a collective called the Genius Party, and their big thing is like bringing. There's a lot of reclusive producers in North Carolina, especially like myself.
Producers in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, not, you know, we don't get to play shows or anything, and I'm kind of used to that world of playing shows and shit. So we've been doing like beat battles. I've done 3 beat. I haven't won one yet, but I've been doing 3 beat battles, 2 beat battles so far, and then like 10 plus shows of just playing my shit.
That's why we started the Grid, because like it was really supposed to be a place for DJs, and then most DJs are just producers who know how to use equipment live, for real.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, this is a place where if you have a set and you can do it live, or you can actually show me what you're doing, this is the place to do it, for real.
So and I finger drum most of my stuff live.
Fire. So and that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, and I like doing that because it also introduces people into like finger drum, which is already kind of like a weird niche side thing of producing.
Bro,
and shit.
It's so much, so fun.
But also, like, I hate going to a show and just watching someone just hit a space bar and be like,
I'm probably, it's like I would probably hit the button, but it's like the sample, like your finger drumming sounded so clean, because I thought it was just a sample. Like if you wouldn't have told me, I would have been like, oh, word, you probably found that sample somewhere from like an older song, but nah, you actually made that.
Yeah, so like for like breakcore stuff and like that stuff, I'll just take a break and chop it up into the hi-hats, you know, all that shit, and just play it as good as I can, and then go back and then usually do like stuttering filters and shit to get like the breakcore aspect. I'm not super well versed in that shit. I was making like cyber grindcore and shit in 2008, you know, on MySpace. I'm used to that kind of level of craziness, but I've been listening to a lot of, and I found a lot of people, ironically, like through TikTok. Like, I know everyone fucking hates it, but like TikTok's really kind of it's the move for people producing music, because like Instagram, you can have a bagillion fucking followers, and it's just, you know, it's just kind of listeners versus like creatives on there. But like TikTok, I found like DJ Shrimp, Breakcore Girl, all these people that have been like huge influences on that shit. But this now we're gonna get into the tape. This is where it gets dark. Let's get to the shit I produce mainly. So let me make sure I got the track listing correct.
Bro, you know, I like breakcore and all that shit, but
it's fun.
It reminds me of like 2000s late at night, like Toonami.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit, like Toonami, some Gundam's about to come on. You know,
that's why I got into it. Like, was literally remembering the old the commercials and shit, where it's just like, you know, the little bumpers and all that. And like, if you remember some of the early True Gunpla stuff, it was very like Adult Swim theme, but I was just using other people's music.
I know.
So it was weird. It's weird for me because I got into like kind of like drum and bass and like garage music from like R&B music. Actually, there's this R&B singer Craig David. So Craig David was really, well, actually 2 different ways. Craig David kind of got me just like into that, and then like just like hearing his electronic music and everything. But then from there, like even more stuff from there, like different shows, like different TV shows definitely got me hip to more music. There's a show called People Just Do Nothing, and there's this collective called Corrupt FM. And it's like, it's supposed to be a joke, but they actually make crazy garage music. So I'm just like, that kind of stuff. It's like, it honestly really got my ears open to a lot of things. And then certain genres are kind of can close you off from other things. So just being in electronic music, you kind of are able to get all of those things for real. So.
Especially like coming from like the hardcore, deathcore, and death metal background scene, there's a lot of, you know, oh, if you ain't listen to this, it's bullshit, blah blah blah. It's not organically presented to like kind of explore different genres. And like the local collective, the Genius Party, like it's mainly just boom bap guys. And like, you know, very light North Carolina boom bap. My shit's not, but like we have that mutual respect and like sharing and shit like that. So it's really cool to fucking see. And again, like I've only been producing for, again, not even a full 2 months. So
and that's insane. Like
it's autism, but it's now I've been
superpower.
I've been producing music ever since I was in fucking middle school. Again, making Fruity Loops, like deathcore and cyber grindcore and shit. But like that got me the basis. Okay, cool. I know how to use Reaper. I know how to use a basic DAW. I know how to record and shit. This is the first time where I've really like taken sounds that are just literally fucking nothing or from toys and bringing it back. Actually, hold up. I see it here in the little listing. So I'll play the Kamen Rider Forze jungle track that I did. This one, again, I don't even know, like, I don't know what breakcore or jungle or, you know, any of that shit. Like, I know it's a very loose term.
It's like think of
genre.
Like think Sega Genesis, think Dreamcast. Like think like Dreamcast Ridge Racer, fucking Sonic, early 2000s Sonic.
Very Jet Set Radio, but
but
Gundam and Kamen Rider. So this one, same deal as the last track. This one is on the tape. This one's already out and streaming and shit. But this one is a Forze belt that I took a YouTube recording, but I also took an actual like recording in person of it. So yeah, it's kind of it's wild. From the fucking dude.
Oh.
I want to do like a VHS tape, like, or do like a whole channel, like styled after Tsunami, but with the whole Goku shit, kind of do like a backwoods, kind of like no one knows about it. You kind of got it. You know what I mean?
That's
you gotta like Max. You gotta like drop like you gotta let me drop a mix. Like if you make like the visuals to it, like if you can make like 30 minutes of visuals, I'll make a mix. Or
you want to make some
fucking... Yeah, that's what we need.
Let's go.
Yo, shout out to everybody who's popping in for real. We got like a whole bunch of people.
Mario. Oh shit.
We got some people that's on our tour that we're on right now. Shout out to the homie Tethra.
That's my glitch setup.
Shouts out fucking Mendozable, bro. Got this fucking sticker, the sticker from Al, dude.
Yeah,
I got tape. I'm gonna take off my laptop screen. Hold on, my laptop cover. Hold on. My joint is. I got fucking that one. Howard. Yeah, shout out to the bro.
Yeah.
I have.
And YENSHIN, shout out to you, bro, because you know I got the Gundam shit on there too.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even. Bro, did you make the sticker? Because I got this when I got the Guyver shirt. Have you?
Oh yeah, I made that one.
Bro, so I have one of Joel's stickers on here. I have Youth Energy. I have Dozable. You made it onto the fucking water bottle, Mario.
Hell yeah. All right, bro. Now we'll get into the tape. I'm sorry, I'd be derailing shit. So this tape is Kamen Rider B, or no, original Kamen Rider BGM, like background music. Samples from this tape.
Oh, the Jerry Springer.
Samples from that.
I see you.
And samples from this tape.
Ooh.
This was an old Japanese store like rental tape.
It's a Beetle Fighter Summer. You know the vibes.
Already. So this one's called Jerry Jiraiya because there's also sound clips from the Jiraiya Tokusatsu show,
Bro, that's fucking
which is another like
nuts.
weird.
Bro,
Oh, damn.
I want to
Yeah.
change my name. Bro, my
The
new
beat
name
was-
is Jerry Jiraiya. Oh, there he is. He fucking.
My bad. I hit something. Something went fucking fucky there. But all right. So yeah, this one is. Let me go back to it.
Jerry Jiraiya. No brick racers, no more.
All my stuff, you gotta make sure you have headphones in because it's bassy as fuck. And this is like more what I actually produce. It's like very dark, lo-fi, just weird shit. Now, dark lo-fi is what I call it.
This shit's
Should
so
have the
fire.
house shaking with the fucking speakers and shit.
Bro,
Hey.
I would be so obnoxious and drive down a fucking suburban white neighborhood with this shit full blast.
It's crazy because like what you're telling me is it's a whole bunch of crazy producers in North Carolina just chilling. Like y'all
Truly,
just,
yeah,
like,
we're all
these
just
events and shit. Well, the
We're
grid
all,
has to
like-
come to North Carolina ASAP, bro. Because these are
We're all like
insane.
neurodivergent as fucking just reclusive.
Ranger stop fucking party, dude. Like I
I'm
wanna
saying
do
Ranger
one.
Stop. No, honestly,
I
so
wanna
here's the
go.
plan. Like Ranger Stop, like no matter what, I'm making sure like if I gotta get a pier space, no matter what, like November we're in there. I'm making sure like we got a spot. I'm gonna bring my equipment. We're gonna rent some speakers. We're gonna make it. We gotta perform. It just has to happen, bro.
I mean, because like that's what I did with Gundam. Not to fucking crank my own hog here, but what I did with metal aesthetics and Gundam is what I want to do with hip hop and tokusatsu shit and Gundam and other like anime and shit. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I made an anime type beat," and it just has like a voice clip in, and that's it. Like I'm deconstructing tokusatsu sounds, fucking whatever you want to call it, into weird grimy ass hip hop and like weird trap shit. Because like I don't know.
I'm like, I want to get there. I want to get there like so bad. At the moment, all I'm like, I'm still making mixes. I'm still producing and stuff. Like with the last mix that I did, Dear Tommy, that was more so just me trying to take some kind of Sentai and be like, hey, like you guys know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I love that because once you know, it's like, wait a minute, did you just use? You know what I mean? And that's what like people like us kind of need. You know what I'm saying? That representation is crazy.
And it's also like with like Gundam too. I know there's a lot of motherfuckers that, like smoke weed and like aren't just like total reclusive anime nerds. I want to bring them out to the limelight a little bit. Like, listen, you're not alone on this shit. There's other depressed motherfuckers that are into this shit too.
Right.
All right. So next one is, let me check. A little bit of longer one. Oh, so this is the title track. This makes 13. This one actually doesn't have any Bloody Chainsaw Girl samples in it, but this one is, I believe. Hold on, let me hear it real quick. Oh, yeah, this one is it is the sample from either V3, the first Kamen Rider, for the Secret Society. Fucking there's my girlfriend Rachel back there. She works at a cool record store called the Poorhouse, and y'all should go check it out. She's cool as shit. She's the fucking best. And also show off that drip real quick.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Them deep dives. Oh yeah, you like that? I don't think Rachel's ever seen the layout with the Kamen Rider girl. All right, Libby. All right, so this makes 13. This is the second track on it. Like I said, this is the Secret Society shocker, like background music. I think a little bit like V3's in there. And again, this is like just dark, bassy. Like I love lo-fi, but I like grimy fucking lo-fi.
Not
this grimy.
It's got that like Griselda feel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. So everyone's heard the intro to this. No one's heard the second half of the song. I'll explain that after.
I listen to this shit like 5 in the morning when I'm walking to the gym. It's dark as fuck.
Definitely got the stealth vibe for sure. It's crazy you did this on Machine. That's what's like blowing my mind. Like I'm like, this sounds like a FL beat to me.
Right? It's that ominous shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do for all these is I'm picking back up on it. Is I literally, when I first started, I was making a beat a day, making it, producing it, shooting a video for it, editing it, and putting on fucking TikTok and shit. I fell off that, getting back on it now. And so I've had people ask also about the name, which I'm sure y'all get it. It's literally just YENSHIN, but with yen, because I also like, I started like my own like toy store and shit, like custom made Sufebi and everything. So I was like, it's kind of fucking play on that. I know there's Genshin out there, who's a big Southside producer, like Slim Gorilla and shit. Now there's YENSHIN, so it's different. So the next joint is, let me make sure. Okay, the next joint's lo-fi joint. This one is all samples from Bloody Chainsaw Girl. Both vocally and just like soundtrack wise, I could cut. This one's more just, chill lo-fi shit. Hold up, let me upload it real quick. Why is it not on there?
Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Shout out to everybody popping.
Yeah, bro. Like everyone's fucking here, dude. We got 7 people, bro. That's like an all-time record on the show. I haven't had this much people on the show. I'm kidding.
Hey, man, drop all those questions and all those good things.
Bro,
we got more stuff coming, of course.
Bro, I don't know. After this, I need to talk about this shit, this Twitter shit from this week, bro. This shit was fucking hysterical. Bro. Oh my god! I've been waiting. I've been waiting to say something until today, so I'm excited to talk about this shit. Because this shit's funny as fuck.
All right, so this one's called Mistress Nero, based off of, like the main like villain antagonist of the shit. You'll hear it.
Uncle Ricky, let him fucking drink.
Crazy.
You gotta throw an only on Tsunami on there. Yo, shout out to Outlaw Star.
Oh shit, hell yeah.
The fucking vibes. Bro, my first exposure to hentai was fucking newground.com. It was the Outlaw Star was the first simulator, bro. Be careful, Joel.
That's a general vibe.
Bro, be careful. These beats are gonna end up on some Patrick Bateman alpha male post. It's like, if you don't
please don't.
Bro, that shit. Be careful,
I'm just a little
bro.
queer boy from the South. Don't be misconstrued in it now. Now, this next joint, this is the last one. It's the last one for a reason. This is the trigger warning one. This one's called On a Mission. Straight up Bloody Chainsaw Girl, a little bit DR6 in there. This is the one where I think a lot of people have been looking forward to it. It's definitely more of like my funk side of stuff that I produced, and it's like the brutal slam of Southside music kind of shit. You'll hear it exactly from second one. So again, if you got headphones on, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be weird. If you don't know what Bloody Chainsaw Girl is, it's fucking awesome. It's literally just this Japanese schoolgirl that goes around and just slicing people up with the chainsaw. It's kind of like Machine Girl in a sense, where she has like the machine gun leg and shit. It's kind of same premise, but this is that shit. Here we go.
Till my khakis hit the ski mask on my foot, the cop. 17 rounds in them, fucking shut me to the blow, then I unload the clock. Jumped into my khakis, hit the ski mask on my foot, the cop. Jumped into my khakis, hit the ski mask on my jumped into my khakis, hit the ski mask on my foot, the cop.
It's a little slow.
Okay.
It's
a
it's
Tofu
like
house party.
right.
Bro, that shit-
It's a completely like different vibe, but like I don't know. I just like that's like my favorite track off that shit. That and Jerry Jariah.
Now I'm
Jerry
jealous.
Jariah. Bro,
No, I'm jealous. I love these beats.
Bro, that
Appreciate
shit's
it.
so fucking good, dude. When is
So,
it gonna
like-
be on Spotify?
I'm gonna upload it on distro tonight, so whenever they put it up. But
Fuck
also
yeah.
like all these beats, like everything I have on Spotify, you know, the beat a day shit, those are all available to buy as beats.
Yeah.
And like a couple of
Fire.
them are gone. Like there's like one or two on Spotify that are gone. There's some that never made it to Spotify, which is kind of sick. I kind of like that. I don't have to worry about it. But I have a catalog of this shit. Again, I've been doing 78 days, 78 beats. I've only uploaded a tape and like 4 other tracks. So there's like 60 something sitting out there in no man's land right now. I just have to finish up. But yeah, so that's the short little tape. Most of the tapes are going to be pretty short unless it's Uncle Ricky volume, which is like the first one's out. And that was just kind of like the first couple of beats that I made. Some of them are Gundam themed. Some of them are kind of like, you know,
can't
this
listen
that
to-
kind of shit.
I can't listen to the fucking Gundam Wing theme song without hearing. It's just communication, and it's just
Yeah.
Uncle Ricky, bro. And it's been ingrained in my fucking mind. That shit's
This is one too that I need to finish up, but it got approved. From it got approved to use the Slim Duncan R.I.P. sample in it because I'm doing there's Twin Towers 1, there's Twin Towers 2, and then now there's gonna be Twin Towers 666 coming out.
George Bush rookie card.
George Bush rookie card type music. Actually, what it is me taking Twin Towers 1 and 2 songs and chopping and screwing them and just like making them even more fucking evil than they already were. This will be the last one we play, but this one I'm pretty stoked on.
Hey, shout out to Al.
Ticket to the hospital. Bad news, 4-5 choppers is your obstacle. Tom Cruise with the Tommy mission. Possible. Niggas get their mind right. Know I got that eye tight. Pussy nigga coming, I can see him from my blind sight. Diamonds in the line.
That shit right there, boy.
He make them shine bright. Smoke that exclusive.
Very cute.
YENSHIN, smoked out exclusive, bitch.
So, like-
Wait. There's no fucking way you pulled out the Brick Squad chain. There's no
yeah.
way. There's no way.
It's on the
Yo.
fucking Majin Vegeta too, just chilling.
Yo, I love Toku House Party. This is my kind of place.
Dude, well, that's what I wanted to be. Because all the other fucking Toku podcasts are just about like.
I can't watch them.
Bro,
I can't watch them.
You know what? You know what? No. Shouts out Runaway Toku. Shouts out Toku Trash. I love Christian.
I never heard those.
Well, Christian, they're
tight,
they're
though.
like, yeah, they're more niche into the genre. But like, I don't know. There's not a like podcast that like, you know, everyone takes themselves so seriously, and I'm like, I don't want to take myself seriously. I just want to smoke weed and talk about nerdy shit with my friends. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's Toku or like fucking Mecha. Like, I don't give a fuck because that's what Toku House Party is about. Like, I don't know, dude. I had a fucking Kamen Rider, one of the dudes from fucking Geets on here,
I was bragging about that earlier too because we just finished recording my. I have a mental health like hobby podcast called The Cutting Mat, and I was explaining to them like what this was about, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is right up your alley." So I was like, "No, motherfucker, fucking Geets is on this shit. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, this shit's badass."
Yeah,
and, like,
dude,
we need to get more Toku like actors on here.
Well, and I think that and that's the plan for Ranger Stop too.
Yeah.
That's the plan for Ranger Stop. I'm since we're gonna be, Al's our way in. We're gonna Trojan horse that way through Al.
I'm down with that. That's gonna be sick as fuck though.
Bro, like, it's funny. I saw at Ranger Stop's really fucking cool because it's in Orlando and there's so many fucking places in Orlando. So last year, I tell this fucking story. There's two stories. First one being the Black Ranger from In Space, Carlos, ripped my fucking pen.
Hey,
bro, he just hit a fucking blinker. 50-year-old Power Ranger hit a fucking blinker off my fucking pen. I'm like, yo. He said, I shit you not, shifting space. And I was like, dude just hit a blinker. Just fucking lost his fucking mind.
Did
like,
a Henshin roll call and then fucking went to fucking Henshin Town on that shit.
Bro, then I met Ernie Reyes Jr. at fucking Twin Peaks. Him and Ken Scott, the original suit actor for Raphael from the first Ninja Turtles movie. Him and little Ernie Reyes Jr., 5 foot fucking 4 Yoda, little Filipino man, to beat the fucking shit out of everyone in that fucking bar. Bro, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, and this dude just came up to our table because he recognized us from the con. He bought Vaughn like a bunch of fucking drinks too. Him and Vaughn were taking shots. Ernie offered me a drink. I don't drink, so I was like, I'm good. Just give it to him. Give it to Vaughn. And Vaughn took my shots for me. But like, dude, shit like that's insane. And like the personal interactions you can have with the cast is really interesting. Some are gonna be like, oh yeah, you gotta go through my manager, Miss Matt. Yeah. And I'm like, go through like a booking. I'm like, yo, come on, dude. Like, whatever. Like, I get it. You got a schedule, but like, I don't know, man. I think this year, I think that like I think we can probably. I want to do something so bad, bro. I want to do some Eric Andre type shit, like on the street, like Billy on the street.
We got to make our own like programming. Like we got to do multiple shows. It's like however many days we're gonna be down there. Like we got to do as much as possible and invite them all out. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, hey, we got this spot. You should pull up just to do it for real. And
I also feel like.
I
was gonna say like a lot of the actors and shit that are showing up, they don't. Speaking from like the anime Gundam scale modeling side, a lot of them don't expect someone to be like, "Yo, there's a fucking hip hop tokusatsu themed show shit going down." Like they're not gonna expect that shit, and I think that's something too where like Power Rangers tokusatsu is such an integral fucking part. I mean, King Ghidorah, I mean MF Doom shit, like. It's such an integral part of the culture that, like,
bro, listen,
gets categorized as Power Rangers.
The fandom is embracing so many different things that, like, it's really dope. So like we can actually make these different kinds of music, and then like I can exist, you can exist, but like all of it is just because we all fuck with Toku. So we can all be musicians in this little like pocket. We can all be designers in this pocket. I was telling Al, he like the Virgil of the Toku community. I'm like, it's us. You feel me? Like we kind of build.
Wait till you see the joint that me and him did together. So it's a Beatles shirt. It's gonna be
fire.
I brought my pen and pixel shit to it.
Oh,
okay.
Listen, and that, bro. Listen, Al said, I hope CR are gonna be at Orlando so Max can have full circle mode. Hey, listen. I don't know, man. Listen, that weekend, I don't know. I gotta listen. She's engaged. She got 2 kids. Listen.
I think you can do it.
Doesn't mean she can't come hang out for a night or some shit.
Listen. I was like, hey, listen, you trying to? Listen, me and you got some counseling. I'm so fucking stupid. No, I don't know, bro. Listen, I don't like, bro. I love her. She's a fucking gem. I'm upset. That's my wife. My ex got fucking jealous of that video. She got real fucking jealous, and she was like, "Who's that?" Yeah, and I'm like, "That's the yellow."
It's called being insecure.
Bro, right? And then let me just
I mean, there's kind of like a nostalgia, like it's kind of like meeting a rapper, you feel me, or like just being an actor. It's just like, yo, this, you know what I mean? Like I've sent like mixes to certain ranges and stuff, and they've like some people have liked it, some people have responded, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I need to start doing too, is start shoveling this shit kind of towards the unexpected groups that wouldn't normally listen to like random beat tapes and shit like that. Cause like right now I've been working a lot with like the Mind Your Goal collective, which is like APOC Crisis and Sam Ari and stuff, which is very funk South, 3-6 kind of shit. But like a lot of them don't listen or don't watch Tokusatsu or really kind of fuck with it. So I'm trying to find that middle ground too. Cause it's like, I want to work with a lot of those rappers and artists, but also like, I want someone to be excited because they heard like a Henshin roll call or some shit in a track and know what it is.
Yeah, that's fucking insane, bro. And like the Toku fandom's so interesting because there's a side of it of people who just were the creatives, and it feels like very much like a high school lunch table. I don't know. It feels, bro.
Yeah,
bro, it's the Toku.
You gotta love it.
Feels like, bro, it feels like a high school cafeteria. You have the Twitter kids, right? You got the
Bandai
fucking,
kids,
bro. The fucking Bandai. No, they got the fucking marks, right? Because the Power Rangers, we all have fucking marks. Like we're all a little bit of marks sometimes, but it's okay. It comes. But we have the people who are like
Mark ass Buster. A bunch of marks.
Bro, he said.
I mean, it really like, I kind of always assumed that we was all just on some like joking shit, and then very recently I realized that like a lot of these conversations are like way more charged than what they could be. I'm sad, bro. My man Pookie. I'm sad Pookie's off socials right now. That's crazy. We bullied my man off the socials. I'm disappointed in the fandom.
Bro, the Power Rangers fandom is so autistic that we actually successfully like bullied a executive producer of a children's IP off Twitter. No, bro, these kids are all autistic. There's not a single person in this fucking community that isn't autistic. There's not a single non.
There's different levels to it. You got like my level of tism where it's like in the creative realm. Then you just got vulgarly yelling at company people on Twitter level.
I think what the problem is that like the biggest problem is that like people like I don't really want to say any names because like this might blow up, who knows. But I think that when certain people like respond to us, that's where like the line is blurred. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be a certain amount of like
NDAs.
It's Twitter, bro. It's Twitter. So like or whatever. So these are opinions, bro. So it's like, if we were at Comic-Con, you know what I'm saying, we would just be people online talking to them. You know what I mean? So it's like you can pick and choose what you could respond to. So it's like they're kind of teetering the line of like being for the fandom and like being in the fandom themselves. And it's like you gotta kind of separate yourself if you really want to like give us information. But it's like, let us speculate. Let us have those arguments. Let us do that. But like now we're beefing with each other, and now that's gonna bleed into Hasbro. Like that's a problem. You know what I mean?
Hasbro.
we just talked about that on this episode of the podcast, was kind of how to navigate different communities and how to like talk to people. We actually, the last episode we did was finding your community, like finding your niche, weird, good, practices, what to look out for,
Right, your
etc.
people.
Now it's like talking to people, and that's a whole
Mhm.
different fucking ball game, because like you're saying, like Twitter, I always assume Twitter's a very like shit posty kind of spot until I
Right.
see the replies and the posts and the reshares of people
Bro,
being
these
fucking
kids,
dead ass serious
bro, these
about
kids fucking
wild ass
fight.
takes. Which
I
is
woke
these
up the
kids-
other day to a tweet. I made that tweet. I was like, wouldn't it be dope if there was a male Pink Ranger? But like, I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
understand there is one, and I woke up to like so many people like,
actually.
bro, and I'm like, son, like I can't even joke. Like that's crazy. Whatever. Like,
I mean,
okay,
that
fine.
I still see it with like Power Ranger stuff. You get one motherfucker, actually, it's called Super Sentai. It's like, motherfucker, we all watched the Netflix special. We all know what's going on. Like,
what the fuck?
There's different levels of it. It's like there are people that are just PR people, there are people that are just toku people, there are people that are common writer people, there are people that dip and dabble. There are some people that just got into it but have known about it for forever. So it's like to assume that everybody knows everything and like everybody's like cares that much is stupid.
It's so, and not to say that like, and then another thing that like really kind of irked me from the last week too is
that the god Hercules? Oh man, he's in the
shit.
chat.
Like the thing that really irritated me, apparently what Hasbro said about us as a fandom was like, oh yeah, we're benching it because of the fandom. And I will say this on the record, right? Because Power Rangers is such a niche, if you really look at it from the grander scale of fandoms, right? We're really niche. We're kind of like a B list,
the
not like
Netflix documentary was the biggest thing we're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the pinnacle.
In the 27 reboot. And you know what? And we've been around for 30 years consistently. Like we wouldn't have been around 30 years consistently for me too, dude. Me too. And it wouldn't have been around if it wasn't for the fans. Things like Power Morphicon, things like Japan World Heroes, like Ranger Stop, right? All this shit is because of Power Rangers. Bro, right? This is for the fans.
These actors are making money off of touring.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Because they can't do anything afterwards. A lot of these, like, imagine series like let's say like what's a series that hasn't been touched in like a while? You know what I'm saying? Or like a Power Ranger series, you know what I'm saying, that kind of just came and went. Like I want to say like Ninja Storm. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different actors where the only kind of representation, or even like the suit actors or anything, the only way they can do that is based off of cons. And it's like, if it isn't for us having these sharp opinions, those people really wouldn't make. And I'm not shitting on those people, but I think that like they enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like knowing like little things about like what like certain actors had to deal with like Hasbro and like Saban and like all these companies. I'm like, where is the disconnect? Because there has to be somebody that like is with it, you know what I mean? Like there's so much about money that no one's hip about it, because there are other properties.
There was, and when as soon as the Hasbro takeover happened, there were two people who worked on Beast Morphers and worked on the brand in general and put their heart and soul. Jason Bischoff, right? He moved, I think, over to Funko, which is great because he's just a great fucking dude. And Melissa Flores is now writing the Power Rangers comics, which is fucking awesome because she's a fan. Like she's a fan. She's been a fan. She's like, she's amazing. I love her. She's whatever. Then and they got rid of them after the fucking brand deal. They terminated them, and then like, you just bought an IP, and now that was kind of the beginning of the end for me, at least. I don't know, like it, and then we've been keeping it alive though, like toy sales consistently for 30 years. I don't think there's another show, and everyone fucking says this too. There's not another show besides Law and Order SVU or Saturday Night Live or The Simpsons that's been around for fucking 30 fucking years, dude. Think about it. Like this is the longest running live action children's superhero show. Like this is fucking crazy, man. Like 30 fucking years of Power Rangers, and we're fucking alive. And like, you know what? Hasbro said, you know what? Hasbro fucking says the same fucking thing about Magic. Look at the fucking they did to the fucking dude who went on fucking live stream to open that shit. Open that fucking
It's
pack
crazy.
of cards, right?
It's crazy you
Fucked
say
up.
that because then like there's definitely like a line of like if Hasbro was smart, what I think they would do is actually indulge in other things that are embracing power, that are embracing
They've done
Toku
it.
in general.
They've done it with
So
Transformers. They've done it with
and like with
Transformers.
Magic with Post Malone. So
Sorry.
like Post Malone has his own like his own Magic set, you feel me? Which is like super coveted, you feel me? But like you could do that with someone in the music scene and try and incorporate that with Toku, you know what I'm saying? Or in any capacity, you know what I'm saying? You could try and do something with Magic, you could try and do some kind of collaborative effect, but when they do it with Cobra Kai, like, or they do it with Street Fighter.
So
And it's like,
bad.
Stupid
son,
shit.
I didn't ask for that. Stupid shit. I didn't ask for that, bro. Like, can I get some more Power Rangers in my show, please? Damn.
Yeah.
I have dealt with this with Bandai because when I was and I'm about to get back into like, you know, gunpla and scale modeling shit, content creation pretty hard, but it's a big issue. It's not solely the big excuse is always, oh, the Japanese executives don't want to do this, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do this. It's bullshit. It is part of it. It's not the whole fucking thing though. It's a lot of marketing people looking at the conversations happening online, being like, I don't want any of these motherfuckers touching this shit. And they don't want to engage. They don't want to participate. When they do participate, it's just backlash. And a lot of it, especially like in Bandai circumstances, it's all profit driven, which again, at the end of the day, it's a show that was made to sell shit in Japan. It's the same shit happening now, except for while Japan has the work ethic and the know-how and the audience to keep this show going from the 70s to 2023, America just ripped it off and kept it going with the same season for maybe about 10 something years. And then
it kept it on life support. It's on
kept it on life support.
I would ask like
they didn't encourage.
I would ask what are we doing wrong? Like it's like we're watching it, you know what I'm saying? It's like even if we don't like it, we're still watching it, we're still promoting it. So it's like Linkara still talks about it. You feel me? So it's like
OG old head.
So it's like it's not to a point where it's dead. And I don't think it's to a point where it's not going to be talked. Even if this is actually the last season for a while, the fandom is going to stay very strong. If anything, it's going to grow once it ends because people are going to really try and keep it around.
When it ends, people are going to be like, it's like Pokemon. They look for the next set coming out in Japan ahead of time. People are going to start putting the dots together and be like, oh shit, I can watch the next fucking Super Sentai series. That's going to be in America in like 5 years. They can start getting into that world. And that's what we struggle with Gundam and Gunpla is that a lot of, sales through the roof, people making YouTube channels and all the shit's through the roof. But there's a massive disconnect through like the main franchise of what they're hoping people are going to watch, like the main animes and shit, to where it's just this weird niche people in America watching and not the larger thing. It's one of those weird things. Like the best way to support it is to kind of just request all the shit from the original country.
I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. I really think that this is a stretch, but I think that if the brand itself was not attached to toys, let's say we had video games, we still had comics attached, you can put whatever context you want around what I'm about to say with that, but just not the toys. If a place like Amazon kind of took the property and we kind of did something kind of like The Boys, or even like where there's a certain amount of money into it. I'm not saying in a gritty kind of like edgy way. I just mean in more of like a way where it's free to do what it wants. So that way you don't have that kind of corporate eye. I think that it could be something that will grow more of a cult following, kind of like The Boys Are Invincible or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something that's going to kind of
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something even better. And I've been saying this for years, but it needs an animated show, either by the people who do Invincible or the people who do Voltron, because
Voltron, yes.
And like, if they're gonna do it, they need to do it on that level, because that brought Voltron back, and like now it's a huge thing with like now Voltron Legendary Defender is a huge fucking thing now among like little Tumblr and fan fiction kids, but that's all they fucking do.
It works
but
though.
it does.
The question
and, like,
is, where do you start though? Do you start at like the beginning of the franchise again? Do you
you
tell
do
all these
Hyperforce.
stories again?
No, you do Hyperforce. You do Hyperforce. You do
Nah.
Hyperforce because no, you
Go
have to.
all
You
the
have to
way back. All the way back. All the way back.
just adapt the comics. Honestly, just adapt the fucking comics.
Yeah.
Just
I
adapt
got the
the
little
fucking
Yeah.
manga joint. It's
Bro,
great.
Adapt the comics.
adapt-
I'd be okay
adapt-
with little movies. I would be okay with
Yeah.
animated movies.
Bro,
On some DC
like-
animated shit, that would go crazy.
Bro, I
you feel
would
me?
be, and like it deserves that, bro. Like Voltron, exactly. Like I think it needs what it needs to have is like Johnny Young Bosch can come back and play Adam. And I think they will never do Shattered Grid animated. Because Jason David Frank, there's no one else gonna be able to voice Tommy. If they get someone else to get Tommy, that's just kind of like, oh fuck, that's disrespectful at that point. Because I feel like, I don't know, that role is kind of sealed off now. It's kind of like
More so just because it was known that he wasn't really on good terms with like Saban or Hasbro when like he like parted ways for real. So just in general, I don't think he would want to be a part. You see what I mean?
No, yeah.
That's the issue, and that's the issue Bandai runs into Gundam is that coming from like a marketing, social media, licensing kind of side is that they're only willing to give away the NPR license when they have all these Showa era shows. That if you just allowed people, creatives, toy companies, producers, whatever it is, to have an official something super, whatever the show is, to kind of, oh yeah, I mean, the homies at Last Bastion, they're making a Ultraman mini Sofubi figures officially licensed. Max Toyco, all Ultraman officially licensed.
Bro, they're doing officially licensed Ultra 7 fucking
It
hot
sounds
sauce,
dumb, but that's how you get the old heads back into it. Because every motherfucker I talk to that's above 40, I love Ultraman. What about the other Ultraman shows? What do you mean? It's just Ultraman, Ultraman Q. That's it. No, there's other shit.
There's other things.
It's allowing
Tiga, baby.
Yo,
bro, Tiga. Yo, I need to say something about Tiga. So y'all know who Dave Rogers is, right? He did all the fucking Eurobeat shit for fucking Initial D. Bro, so he did an Ultraman Take Me Higher Eurobeat fucking cover.
Well, bro, I mean, great example with Initial D is that dude has been able to survive his musical career based solely on Initial D fans getting into Eurobeat. Like there's an Initial D Facebook group that's like set up tours for him at this point.
It's funny you say that though, because the thing about that is with other fandoms, the fans are supposed to stay. Like let's take Pokemon for example. Pokemon is one of those things where they actually encourage older fans to play with younger fans to kind of strengthen that bond. Whereas us, we're kind of replaceable, and like we're kind of like
they don't view the two separate groups.
Yeah, it's like they don't look at us as a part of the fandom. They look at us as like, oh, you guys were already supposed to be out. So we're supposed to be looking at these kids, but the kids don't have a voice. And these were the things that we were saying when we were growing up. So it's like, you got to listen to us in some kind of way. I don't think the show is going to be turned into anything gritty. I still think it can be campy. I still think it can be fun, but there's just too much focus on the wrong things. And it's like, do you really know what people remember? Yeah.
They're banking. I mean, you see it with the NPR licenses, even though through like Super 7 and stuff, they're only doing the show that they know the 30-something-year-old's going to have money to spend on the toy. Meanwhile, like I'm a Pokemon TCG judge. I've been a Pokemon since I was a fucking kid. And I like it because like it never changes. It's not gritty. The most gritty we got was when they did the Red anime, which is like cool. That's comparable to Shin, whatever, Kamen Ultraman, Godzilla. And it's kind of one of those things where they need to stop banking on the backs of the 30-something-year-olds for the American audience, but also not rely on the straight up children audience that's in Japan, because that's their main demographic. They don't give a shit about older people.
They need to take a page from the Shin movies. I think like the Shin Kamen Rider movie. If we had Shin Power Rangers, it would go crazy. And it's just like you have to do it with a certain amount of seriousness. But I think that because the series was always supposed to be very funny, I think that the mainstream eye, or like kind of like the nostalgic eye, glosses over these really serious like plot points, these really great acting moments, these really like iconic scenes, and it kind of boils it down to like like just jokes, you know what I'm saying, and alpha. You know what I mean?
It's I hate saying it's the bastardization of the Japanese show, because you watch
Mhm.
the very early Super Sentai, it's some serious shit going on, some
Mhm.
Yeah.
political shit, fucking murder,
Right.
this, that, and the other thing. I watched those. I'm like, there's no fucking way this was a kid's show. That's crazy.
Right.
And if
Bro,
we got
like
that
fucking
in the
Jetman,
90s, yeah.
Jetman,
If we got Jetman in the 90s, that would have been
Mhm.
sick. That's the issue, right? Because you have properties like Godzilla and Toho that were never meant to sell toys. It was just a
Right.
film. It started off as serious, so it's always kind of kept that serious tone with it. And when
Right.
they do the cute stuff, it's like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Mhm.
We never got that in America. We never got the dark, gritty Sentai that was in the 70s and 80s. We never got the dark, gritty Kamen Rider. We just got Black RX, and that was it. That's the only thing we got.
Mass Rider,
We got Mass Rider,
Fuck that.
Juku B, like we got
Mhm.
weird Saban kids versions of it. So like
Mass Rider.
that exposure, like Gundam's a great example. A lot of the shows are dark. They're fucking
Right.
depressing. And like that kind of shaped that Adult Swim audience. We never got the Adult Swim of Sentai in the States.
Bro, that's
And
what
that's
I want.
kind of what
That's
sucked.
the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. It's like there's never been.
We have
that's
Shout
like,
TV and that's it.
bro. Like
The
I
place
wanna
where
do,
that would have been. Oh my bad, bro. Go for it. My
No,
bad,
you're
man.
good. Go. I want to hear what you have to say.
So the places where I feel like that would have done the best is like maybe early 2000s, and I think that places like G4
Yes.
or G4 would have been the perfect place for it. And I think that if
Bro.
G4 did a mix of, I think what really would have done better is if we dubbed footage better.
Yeah.
And maybe if they took less, like that's really what they have to take a chance on. Now we're gonna like, and it's like it's not impossible. I watch Squid Games, so I like, you know what I'm
We
saying.
all
Like, and
watched
I'm being a dick
Godzilla.
on purpose, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying. Like, of course you can dub these things. Like, it makes
Yeah.
sense. So it just like, and it sucks, but it like maybe it would take roles away from certain actors, but it's like if you can kind of do both of them, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can do a lot more with the footage.
Johnny
you know what I mean?
Bosch. Johnny Bosch
Right.
comes back and voices every single Red Ranger for the next 5 years if they dub, bro. Because that man, Johnny Bosch, is back as Red Ranger again.
It's when you take the 30-something-year-old nostalgia goggles off and you realize it was just a get paid quick rip of another Japanese property that wasn't really taking into consideration the art that is. I don't want to sound corny about it, but there's a lot of like art and feeling and emotion that goes into some of these. They may be goofy at some points. Ninja Ranger's goofy as shit, but like there's some parts I'm like, damn, dude, like this motherfucker's depressed. I feel that.
I've never thought I would say this, but I think that like the brand needs to be sold to someone that's going to give them the freedom, and Disney was giving them the freedom. Disney was doing it. As much shit as we may talk about the
because
Disney
they hated
seasons,
it.
Besides Mystic Force, what like content wise, it was nice. It was okay.
It was
tripping.
good. Disney,
and just like how Adult Swim gives like certain platforms to like these shows, and they're able to do so much more, it just Hasbro just isn't willing to put the money into it. But we'll put the money in the Transformers, and I think that that's just so ass backward.
So, I mean, the other thing, too, is you got to remember, like, Hasbro and Bandai, a lot of these companies have been around for so long, they don't want to kind of shit where they're sleeping, in a sense, because they know it works. They know they can make a random G.I. Joe Transformer collab, and the 40, 50-year-olds will be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to buy this $80 fucking repainted figure.
They got to get with the times. That's only going to go
I will
so
say,
long.
It's going to be motherfuckers like this down here, Immortal Red Fox, and I need to see more DIY tokusatsu shit that makes Subaraya and Toho scared of the Western
audience. It makes them sweat because then
and
as
it's not
soon as
happening.
they become like the Immortal Red Fox is Toku. So the Toku community is going to embrace whoever's just doing it the best. And
but
right now,
I guarantee you,
they doing it.
The Immortal Fox, like kind of like Radiance, is mostly Sentai fans and shit that are aware of everything. It's doing more of this stuff and getting it in front of more people's eyes and getting it in front of the companies.
Bro, there's a huge indie tokusatsu community too, not just in America, in Japan too.
Yeah,
bro, go on. The dude who plays Go on Red is so involved with the local hero scene. With Immortal Red Fox, what he's doing, like I've seen him like over the past. I've been friends with him for over 2 years. This is like I love him. He's one of my.
We need more people knowing about his shit. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's so many people that they could be diehard Sentai fans, but they don't even know DIY shit exists. Actually,
Mhm.
one of Rachel's friends did a kaiju movie for his film project for school. Suit, buildings, everything swept on them. No one gives a shit.
Bro,
Don't worry about it.
one of my friends, they're in like a very toku-esque. They did literally a tokusatsu. They did a tokusatsu fucking music video for one of their fucking punk
Yeah.
songs. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like it's fucking insane.
It's a big theme. I mean, look about in like larger scale media. We had Homegirl doing that Power Rangers cover shoot for the fucking.
Mhm.
The
I was just thinking about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, for like Vogue. Yeah,
like that's a big fucking deal. But like,
you
all
can't
it
see
generated
five
was an article
colors
or
in.
two.
You can't see
Yeah.
5 colors in a row and not think, oh, you know, Spider-Man shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Like,
think
that's
Power Rangers or Voltron, one of the two.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the two.
That they're gonna say, oh look at the LD. They're gonna say, oh the LGBTQ. The people are gonna complain. They see 5 colors in a row. I'm like, nah, bro, that's the fucking Power Rangers, baby.
Mhm.
And I think that's a lot of it too, because you know, Hasbro could go into a whole entire marketing campaign about trying to educate people on Super Sentai, you know, linking to old, you know, Blu-ray DVD sales. That's only going to do so much.
Mhm.
It's gotten to a point where there's like there's not a lot of room to kind of move it to where it needs to be unless you start doing just other non-Power Ranger shit. Like
Right.
I love the weird like other country tokusatsu shows that are nothing to do with
Mhm.
Sentai, Kamen Rider, or Power Rangers. Like
Yeah, just their own. Like, yeah, this is just like is it Garo? I believe
To me.
Garo.
Oh,
Like,
Garo, baby.
yeah.
Garo.
so we have
Garo.
streaming services, right?
Mhm.
But like
Garo
they're
was on,
yeah, I don't
Garo
even
was on-
do the marketing of that shit.
bro, Garo was on fucking BRV for the longest minute.
Oh yeah.
Bro, Garo was on BRV. Bro, this Garo would be a good late night G4
Yeah.
show because that's what
It's-
that's what it was originally made for.
Mhm.
But that's the issue though, is like the entertainment funnels are so
Mhm.
vast that you can't just do a late night show and everyone's gonna
Right.
watch because everyone's got streaming. Everyone
Right.
has so many options at this point that
Mhm.
the normal routes of like setting up a just a tokusatsu streaming service is not gonna do anything.
Right.
It's
It's
something
not.
to
It's
where
not.
it's
Mhm.
getting like you're talking about before, like having the collaborations with Post Malone and whatever it is, but just like
Mhm.
more in the broader public eye versus in weird
Mhm.
niche communities.
What I'm hoping
Yeah.
is like what we do in our extracurriculars, whether if it's having a podcast, whether it's being a DJ or a producer, you know what I'm saying, or like, you know what I'm saying, like I think what if they embrace us, I think the fandom is going to thrive. I
Yeah.
think that
Oh,
those
yeah.
little
Absolutely.
alley oops, like you ever notice how like even to mention Pokemon again, they'll take little like art, Cartoon Network actually, the Cartoon Network social media page is
RIP.
crazy. They take like local stuff, you know what I'm saying? They'll take like local artists and they'll put them on the page and then ask questions. It's like little stuff like that. Embracing your
It
community
means
is
the
what makes
world
it.
to people too. It
Mhm.
means the
Yo,
fucking world to
bro,
people when they see that
Very
shit.
much so.
Because like I'm worried more about getting a C and D from Gundam versus like I just want to I want to share their art and their property and do
Right.
shit. I don't want fucking I don't need to be
I don't want
checks
anything
them.
from you. I just want you to know that I exist. Or if I can't get that,
Exactly.
just know I appreciate you. That's it.
Exactly.
Like, and I think that
that's
there's a line that sane people, like, you know what I mean, they follow where it's like, hey, like I really appreciate you. I would just do this just to do it. And
yeah.
that's why like I do music the way I do it, because I'm like, I just love it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna still like it no matter what. So it's like even if
Yeah.
I wasn't making music, I would be the dude at Subway. You feel me? The Power Rangers dude at Subway.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter where I would be.
bro, I literally got the Pai Schwa tattoo on my fucking arm.
Son, I'm getting my master stripe soon.
Bro.
I'm so sad. I'm getting my
Hey,
shit.
bro.
I'm gonna get my shit. I'm gonna get my shit right here. I got a planet tattoo right here, but I'm gonna get it like hold on. Right,
I need to get
right
more.
here.
I just got stupid
Probably, like,
Star
get it.
Wars shit.
Bro, I got
I
you
got-
blocked
I mean,
on my thigh. Bro, I
for
got you
example,
blocked on my thigh.
You want to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
gotta-
a property that really embraces the fandom? Fucking Star Wars.
Mhm.
It's something
Day
where I
one,
mean,
bro.
Disney things aside, the fan support's always been there. Whether you're selling Star Wars shit or you're making, I don't know, blown glass lightsabers or some weird fucking shit. They try and they have a whole ass documentaries
Or even
showcasing the fandom.
take like the example of the Sonic community and how like their outrage was able to change something that ended up being super great. You know what I'm saying? Like now the Sonic IP is going to be so much greater and so much stronger because of the Sonic live action movies. Whereas if they didn't listen to the fans and they were just like, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been one of the worst movies of all time.
Thanks, dog.
Listen, there's probably a bunch of a couple death threats thrown in there too. And
yeah. I mean, that's the other side of it too, is like you can't fully embrace all the fandom because you start getting into weird shit. But I also think that, like, for example, I mean, I've been dragging on it because I've been fucking depressed as shit, but like we're working on a little project for the Mortal Red Fox, was just making some cool shit for it. But I think there needs to be a lot more of like people doing documentaries, people doing showcases other than just stuff that gets them paid, that shows that, like, hey,
I want to do
the tokusatsu genre expands more than just what you see on fucking Power Rangers.
Right.
I feel like Toku is like, okay. So I feel like Toku is such a broad genre, and I feel like it's broken down to several like different categories, right? So you have spandex, right? You have the spandex heroes. You got the
monster suits.
Yeah, you got the masks, right? Which is just Kamen Rider. You know, any of the superhero Rider, Metal Heroes, whatever. The masks. Then you got kaiju. Then you got little weird live action mecha like a fucking yes.
There's a lot of different like avenues which all collectively equal a lot of fucking people and a lot of different people that do different shit. It's also the hesitation from the larger companies bleeds out into the hesitations of creators because they're scared of legal repercussion or community backlash or whatever the case is. When like Star Wars, they kind of, I mean, frankly, they don't give a shit.
No,
you know,
and it's with
as
Disney
long as it's not
too.
like weird porn, they don't care.
No, and it's with Disney, and they realize that the fandom is what makes, like, this is like, you know,
it makes the thing.
Bro, Power Morphicon is like a huge like 3-day event, like we're all going like at Blunts and Cow. Bro, I don't know what anyone else is thinking, but like when I go there, I think the first thing I'm going to is the dispensary. Fuck the hotel. First thing I'm doing.
Usually my first move.
Bro, pulling up to the hotel after a good dispensary and some street tacos, I'll be good. Then, nah, dude, like, bro, like Power Morphicon, Ranger Stop, like, bro, like all these fucking conventions is because of the fans. Like,
every single nothing to do with the Hasbro band, whoever. No, it has nothing to do with them.
Well, Bandai did.
But if they did pop up though, and here's if Pookie is watching, my advice would be to just show up in Ranger Stop. Break down that barrier, because I think that if you break down the barrier, you can reset the boundary. And I think that what Pookie was trying to do, he was trying to be the guy that was giving us the information, trying to kind of let us influence things, but I think that it went just a little too far. I think that if he was the kind of like, or the whole entire team was to reevaluate how they approach us, you know what I mean? Like, I really, really, really think things would go a lot differently. And I think that go for it.
I was gonna say it's taking off the corporate business goggles and putting on the goggles that was the reason you joined.
Put on some. I'm about to say put on some fan goggles. Goggles. I need you to like. Are you gonna watch this yourself? Like, are you gonna?
We've seen what happens though. The team, the Kamen Rider team, half of those were the Gundam team from like a year ago, and I know that. Hey, all the shit talking and shit that's happened, whatever. I know at the end of the day, they're diehard fucking fans of this shit. But they get involved, they switch the fucking goggles out, and now they're trying to do all this other different shit for work. They forget why people get into it for the first place. Yeah. It's not just nostalgia. I didn't grow up watching Showa era shit, but like I love watching that shit now. It's kind of just like you can be a part of that community and draw the line between, I still work for them and I, blah 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 blah. But it's
Mhm.
like, be honest and be truthful about that shit. Show
And if you're
that you're a
not that
fan.
person, hire a person who
I would
is.
love my job.
That's
Hire
Thank
someone
you.
who cares about the series. And I think that the Barbie movie is a really good example. Like, I'm more than sure they
Yeah.
had some people on the staff that were just genuine fans of like the brand. So when you have that kind of dedication, or even like the Lego movie, I'm pretty sure they had actual Lego
But
builders
me,
on the
Yeah,
movie. Like,
they did.
you,
me,
if you let the people
I,
that are like interested in it be those moderators, it always makes it work out a little bit better.
Something they could do too, and again, I've seen it with other like mediums and properties, not even just like tokusatsu and shit, is when they showcase the community. It doesn't even need to be like this great grand documentary, but where they showcase the real people that are really enjoying this stuff, that aren't just Feyweather fans. It inspires people to get involved with it. That's how I got inspired in scale modeling. I was watching the Japanese show Plamo Tuscavari, I forgot how to pronounce it, but literally what it was is a camera crew going to different hobby shops in Japan and recording people building models. That was the show.
Bro, I love that shit. Bro,
that was the
I
show.
love that. Bro,
We need that with
shit because, like,
tokusatsu.
bro, that in toy stores. Bro, I bet. See, that's do like a Guy Fieri type shit, and like
I wouldn't even do that, because a lot of toy stores, as a toy store owner myself, is just people selling nostalgia. They're not selling new ideas or anything new. They don't give a shit about Sentai or whatever the case. Or if they do, that's like their whole shtick.
Yeah.
It's more of like the people who aren't really financially profiting off of this stuff, that truly are doing free shit or whatever the case is, to really promote this thing going on, or whatever the medium or project is, that really outshines, so and so doing a cool art piece of Ultraman.
You know the
or
way to
whatever.
reward that? I think the way to reward that is to just be very light-handed with your copyright strikes. That would be such. Come
Just
on,
saying.
would that not be? That would be a solid like trade-off. You feel me?
Yeah.
I can use this. Let me do this. I'm gonna make you know what I mean? Like,
horror movies is a great example of that, because a lot of dudes
Yeah.
do bootleg horror movie shirts. They get the C&D and say, hey, let's just make it fucking official. I will give you the profits from it, or we'll split them, or figure something out. Obviously, people like it. They like it enough. They like it enough to where it's gotten your attention. But at the same time, why not just work with those creators? We see that a lot with horror stuff. Is a lot of people. I mean, like the Exorcism license, anyone can get it. You can get an Exorcism shirt in Walmart now for $15 that looks like the bootleg ones that everyone's been making. It's because they recognize that, okay, this is the fandom that is so integrated and so involved and so into this shit. They are willing to find weird bootleg people making stuff just to buy, hey, exactly. Just to represent their thing. I mean, like, and it's something too where you're never.
I found you. That's how I found you. I was looking for Guyver shirts, and like in your old joint came up. I bought it and I was like, "Yo, this is the coolest shirt." And I wear his shit. Like,
and that's the thing though, is like, I promise, whatever corporation is reading this, no one you're gonna C&D is be like, "No, fuck you, this is my thing." They're like, "Please, can I just work with you? Take the designs. I don't care. Just let's do something about this, man."
And then that's how you have Toku House Party, where you have 3 different people that do all these things, but it's like, oh shit, you do that, like you like that same thing. Let me help you out. Let me do something. So it's like, how is the fandom stronger than the actual like property itself? You know what I mean?
That's the weird thing too. And like, again, like I've talked about Shout TV and shit before. They're fighting the good fight, but they're not diehard fans of it. Because if they were diehard fans of it, if they're really about this shit, it'd be more of getting in front of people instead of just kind of just keep it going or whatever the case is. Like, there really needs to be something where it's like the love and passion is there. Like, listen, I would do marketing for $10 an hour for fucking Power Rangers.
Bro,
where would it start though? Where would it okay, let's say like in theory we start this company. Are we going to start with just dubbing the Sentai? Are we going to start with just trying to give people, like, trying to acquire the rights to, like, just sell all the previous Power Ranger seasons? Like, I think we're at a really delicate place where we don't know where to go, because
There's
the
no,
premise has
yeah.
always been Mighty Morphin is the blueprint. Like, that's what we kind of follow. So now it's like, do we continue to do the same thing, or do we kind of risk it and try something completely new and then completely lose
Risk
the
it.
IP?
Risk
I think
it.
we should risk it. I'm
It's
with you. I
risky
really
because
think we should risk it.
again, I
I
love
think we
reminding
should risk it.
people Power Rangers ain't fucking original. It's just
Right.
Americanized Super
Yeah.
Sentai shit. It's
Yeah.
it's already taking something and doing a fan dub of it already. Fuck that. Let's make our own tokusatsu characters, our own vibe. Let's learn from the prop masters and everything from Super Rise Studios and shit, how they do. Even bring them on board.
I think
why we
even with
have-
a
Learn
video
the
game,
cult. Yeah,
if we
learn the
had a
culture
video
of it.
game, it like something like
That you didn't have to
I can't think of
import.
it. Like when it really comes down to it, when you have a nice video game where you have
Production
something
studio.
where like the comic books like kind of do it really well, but it's just not as big. You got to have something to where it can grow, where we
Yeah.
can give our direct feedback. We can let you know if we love something. We can let you know if we hate something. But it's got to be something that's its own contained world. You know what I mean? Kind of like Magic Online, like Magic Arena. Like if you play Magic Arena, that's a world of Magic that everyone can access. That's going to continue to
Yeah.
grow.
You
Like
play
there are sets
cockatrice, that's
gonna-
a whole different thing.
yeah, it's like
Boulders, bro.
We just don't have any place where like we can consistently get it, and it's going to consistently grow. And that's a big problem for me, honestly.
And and that's not something that the 3 of us or 30 of us could fucking tackle. It's a
Right.
lot of that is how much money you can put up to get your
And
spot
none of us have
ahead
money.
of people. But there's also like a biggest thing, especially with like kind of like grassroots, fandom
Fans.
cultivation, is a lot of it is through education, but a lot of it is like, okay, cool, everyone can have their review video of the Super Sentai thing and blah blah blah, and their education of this is where it comes from. But like until you figure out how to actually market that shit to Joe Nobody that doesn't give a
Exactly.
shit about it,
Exactly. But
that's
no
when
one,
you
I'll
start
tell
going.
you. Because I'll
See,
tell
Yen,
you.
like
I'll
Yen,
tell you.
mhm.
Sorry. No.
Oh no, you're good,
no.
buddy.
Sorry. And I'll say like, and it's all like Joel said, it's all about translation. Like, how are you gonna bro? And I'll tell you, even dating as a fucking Toku fan, bro. Like, you talk to a girl and she's like, "Oh, what are you into?" Right? Like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, well, would you like to know? And
So-
like 5
You got to just be
hours
wild,
later-
unapologetic. You just got to be like, yeah, it
I'm
is.
not,
Like,
and
yeah.
I'm completely unapologetic about it. I'm like, so like, yeah, I'm really into like Power Rangers and like Godzilla and like any of that kind of Japanese monster mecha. Either not even it's 50-50, man. Either they're gonna be like, oh, cool, or they're gonna be like, oh, nice, and then
Right, like cool.
tell me what you're into. Oh, cool, you're into like, oh, cool, you're another Taylor Swift fan. Like, give me a break. Like,
But
you
here's
know
the
what I
thing,
mean?
though. It's learning how to share that interest with a fucking Taylor Swift fan to where they can engage with it and just respect that you like it. And that's
and
a
just
big
respect
problem.
that it
Exactly.
exists. You can love it. I can not like it and still respect that it exists.
That's the
Bro.
biggest issue, because there is, again, I don't watch every single tokusatsu video creator artist out there, but there's a lot of goofy shit that doesn't really respect some of the diehard fans' takes, or just people that are into like practical effect film. That's a big
Bro,
way.
Black Sun, bro. That's why I like Black Sun. Black Sun was really fucking cool because there's all practical. There's like 0 CGI in it. Like that shit was like all.
It's like respecting that art form. And I think that's a lot of thing too, is where a lot of people don't truly understand what goes into what went into these shows in Japan, the behind the scenes. I forget his name, but he's on Facebook, and I've posted some of the behind the scenes of Super Sentai films from 80s and 90s, and even like the toy fairs and shit. There was such a love and an admiration for what they were doing. The art,
there's so much more.
storytelling.
So much more to it
Right.
because you have like the stage shows, you know what I'm saying? Like the stage
Yeah.
shows and
Stage
that kind of stuff. Like
That got lost when Saban did their interpretation of it, because all of that art and everything gets left behind. You don't see it.
let me ask you this then. Is that because of America not really embracing the pageantry?
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think that, like, now that I think about it, I don't think that the campy, like, Super Sentai or Power Rangers could like live, the theater version of that wouldn't. I don't know how great that would
It
sell.
wouldn't.
You know what I
It
mean?
wouldn't. And
Awesome.
Sentai, and that's why like, and I think it would like, and I think that like that's why Japanese stage shows are like a whole fucking other thing, and they're fucking crazy. Like, have you
Oh,
actually
yeah.
sat down and watched a fucking live like
Yeah.
Kamen Rider stage show? Or is it, dude, they'll have
They got
ones where fucking,
squibs and shit going off constantly. It's badass.
bro, it's insane. They're doing fucking flips and shit off the fucking top. It's literally like wrestling without the fucking ring.
I was about
too.
to say like can't we just get like a WWE, some fireworks? You feel me? Like,
Bro,
listen,
isn't that just
all I need.
Ultraman?
Listen.
Bro, that's just Ultraman. Ultraman.
I
is
will
literally
say-
just fucking wrestling, tokusatsu wrestling, and I've been saying
Wrestling
this
is
for
just
fucking
tokusatsu without masks.
I'll be honest with you. Some gloves
No, bro,
and like
Godzilla.
do you guys remember way back there was like a scooter and like there was like a skateboard where you could press down the back of it and it would make sparks and shit? Just put that on gloves, and then when you
That's all
hit
you
the
need.
chest, fucking sparks fly.
Nah,
That's
bro,
it.
all
That's
you
it.
need, listen, all you need, you want some explosions, listen, all you need is some fucking, what do you call it, some fucking, God, what is it fucking called? Oh, you gotta put a lighter with a fucking, bro, I'm so fucking high. You gotta put a lighter with a fucking Febreze can. Just fucking,
Oh, yeah.
bro.
Boom, you feel
Bro,
me? Just pop up
I
a
will
few
say
like
though,
Bose speakers.
the biggest hurdle, and it's going to be one that just simply can't be overcome, is that we're dealing with Japanese culture versus American culture.
Yeah,
It's just
for
a
sure.
straight up fact that like that's we see with Gundam, with anime, with all, Dragon Ball Z, even the whole all these properties, is that there's just such a disrespect from the American culture
bro.
that Japan just doesn't want to deal with it. And honestly, I don't blame them as like someone that does really respect, especially like practical effects and tokusatsu shit like that, to where like that's why I got into scale modeling. Was I loved watching people build, you know, the behind the scenes of like the cities and the buildings and the Zords and like learning those are suits and shit. Like,
bro, I want to
that
go.
doesn't exist here.
Bro, I want to
Right.
go to Japan and go to all the filming spots. Also, shouts out fucking Cruelty.
Fucking
I saw
Cruelty.
them. Bro, I want to, bro. I was so tempted just to jump off stage and do a rider kick and see if someone would fucking recognize it. And see if someone from the band would have recognized it through the Kabuto fucking kick in the pit. Poof. But everyone's fucking Jacksonville people go fucking crazy. I didn't want to lose my pretty smile. Bro, Flash Mob, G Fest, Jesus Christ, bro.
We just need more G Fest
Bro.
and more Tokusatsu cons, really. Like, I mean, if Star Trek can flood fucking the entertainment convention space like they
My Little
did
Pony,
to
My
the
Little
point of
Pony.
getting. Listen, I mean, as much as people shit on that shit, like they have a massive fucking fandom, and
And it
massive
trickles down
support.
to other things, to where you have things
Yeah.
like Toku
Bro,
House Party,
furries,
like
bro.
Morphin Grid, like et cetera, et cetera. So it definitely like there's definitely like a way to do it. I think we are doing it, but we're at a point right now where things are very delicate. And
It's
Yeah,
also
especially in
everyone
America.
needs to drop the gatekeeping.
Mhm.
No, none of it.
Mhm.
Education
Bro.
is more powerful than gatekeeping.
For sure.
Actually,
Well,
yeah,
those
Well,
motherfuckers need to be more positive about how they go. Well, actually, yo, that's a dope idea. Did you know? By the way, blah 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 blah.
it's called social
That kinda
skills,
tone.
bro. It's called fucking social skills.
If we had a Tokusatsu film fest, I would lose my shit. I would go make a fucking Tokusatsu film if there was a film fest,
Bro.
because I know I can do it.
Oh,
Mhm.
you just gave me. Okay, all right.
But it's again
cool.
like on one hand, can we name 5 different, besides Immortal Red Fox, 5 different independent Tokusatsu properties made in the United States?
I would say Bat in the Sun.
Well, yeah.
And you said like besides Fox, I just think
Besides
Bat in the Sun.
Fox,
Yeah,
and
Bat
even
in the
then, that's
Sun.
that's just kind of like
Godpunk,
live action.
fucking-
Would you
fucking
consider
Godpunk.
Cantata Force or Cantata Force?
No. So
okay.
he's talking about indie. So there's Immortal
Andy,
Red
so even
Fox.
Bad in the Sun's too big.
Bro,
okay.
there's Immortal Red Fox, there's fucking Godpunk, fucking Jamingers, there's fucking Deca, fucking Man.
I ain't heard of
Mushu
none of these
Mantis.
motherfuckers.
Well,
Yeah, I haven't heard. I
That's
haven't
what
heard
I'm
of a lot of
saying.
them.
There needs to be more education about people doing shit, whether it's the Morphin Grid, my stupid ass beats, or more.
Right.
There needs to be that education of like, hey,
AMVs,
boom, boom,
baby.
boom.
Bring back
In
old
a
school.
in a neutral or in a different way, because currently the way of pushing it out through the show just isn't working.
Yeah.
And when Batman wasn't working in the comics, they made a movie. And when Batman wasn't working in the movies, they made a video game. When it wasn't working in a video game as much as they wanted, they made another movie. Like, we have to be comfortable going to these other areas to kind of get press and be able to get like just any kind of eyes on us. And it's like,
I would gladly take a press article that's like local Power Ranger hip hop show. Fucking cool. You wrote about it. That's all that matters at this point.
Bro.
Even if like the person that runs their social media was to retweet someone or something like that, like all of that, like that even something like that would just kind of take things to a whole nother level.
Toy Makers is a great one. I mean, there's so many different things that you could integrate these properties and these fandoms and these film styles into that have larger audience. I mean, I brought death metal fans to Gundam and Gundam fans to death metal, vice versa.
Bro,
like,
yeah, you know, big,
that needs
like,
to happen with everything. I'm trying to do that with like, you know, trap beats and hip hop shit right now.
Bro, you know what I want?
Yeah.
You know what I want? I want a Power Rangers Power Trip rip. I want someone to do a Power Rangers shirt with the Power Trip.
Yeah.
With the Power Trip font, dude. That's all I fucking want, dude. Like, bad.
It's good for that first, you know, like it's good to do that fun, like the parody shirt, but no one's gonna make, you know, the clothing line to go behind it kind of shit. And that's where that kind of comes into like what Al's doing, where it's all tokusatsu. It's gonna be all tokusatsu shit. It's the shit that I'm doing. It's all mecha. It's all tokusatsu shit, because like that's what I want to see grow. I want to get those people that like these designs and whatever it is into this shit. And, you know, with toy makers, with, you know, even fighters and miniature builders and actors and shit, I think a lot of just kind of being more vocal about these things that you enjoy in a non-profitable way is something that's highly needed, but it doesn't happen because people don't want to like waste their time doing a YouTube channel or whatever the case is. When in reality, like, you know,
you got to be out there. You got to be out there doing something. You got to be out there putting something together. And that's why I really like the pocket of Toku Twitter I'm in, is because everyone's a creator in some way, shape, or form, right? Like, I like to bring creators together, right? Like, I like to bring people together. I like to, you know, help other people grow with their stuff. Like, that's what I like doing, right? And everyone else is either creator or does something within the community. Is not just making YouTube videos, right?
Everyone just wants money from it. I hate saying it, but like that's the end of the day,
bro. That's why I don't do a lot of shit, bro. Like, I don't care about views. Like, bro, I haven't checked my fucking view, bro. I checked my view count. I was like, whatever. I was like,
yeah,
cool.
I think I have like 70 monthly listeners. I don't give a shit.
Bro, I don't care. Like, I don't care about all the fucking tagging, bro. I don't care if my videos are fucking monetized. Like, I can give a rat's ass, bro. You know how much money I'd make from that in short term? That's nothing fucking substantial. Listen, if this channel's got a fucking boom and was like, oh shit, we're racking
doing
it. Fucking, bro, we're gonna keep fucking doing it. We'll grow.
I mean, it's like with the project we're doing with Fox is like, I'm just trying to figure out the baseline cost of the stuff just so we can fucking do it. I'm not worried about like profit on my end or whatever, whoever's end.
Exactly.
It's more of like, it's because that passion people see into like, I would love to help Home Dude out with marketing and shit for the more Red Fox videos of just like getting it out there, because people don't fucking know. People don't know. Someone has to
be, and currently Fox is, someone has to be the martyr, or like the one that we're all kind of pushing, we're like trying to get behind, because then maybe what could happen is kind of like how Saban was producing other tokusatsu shows, maybe we could get Hasbro to try and take on another independent show and try and give them a little bit of money to like try and do something bigger.
But I wouldn't even want Hasbro to do it, though. I wouldn't want Hasbro to fucking do it.
And that's
100%. I'm actually with you, Max. I'm with you. I really think that the property needs to be sold.
They can just have Mighty Morphin, whatever. They can just have that nostalgia year. Because the other thing too is we need younger media companies coming out so they can be the next Hasbro or whatever you want to call, because
Mhm.
All they're gonna keep doing is
exactly.
just pushing down the same CEOs for another CEO that doesn't give a shit. Another CEO
There's
doesn't give a shit.
I don't see media companies ever now with like people who are created by fans for fans. Like I see little shit on YouTube. Like I never
You
seen
see
like a
it
bunch of
with horror movies. I will say that's
exact
if we need to
horror
follow any
movies.
type of blueprint, it's independent horror movie shit that turns
Yeah.
into A24, that turns into these larger properties.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Trauma, for fuck's sakes. They're
Bro.
making shitty B movies and now they're massive.
Yeah. And I think that's what needs to happen, and we should all maybe sometime talk about it because I think
Perfect
it's a big
example.
thing. Bro,
rise
like,
and fall, but
bro,
Does
like,
does the streaming hurt or like does the streaming hurt or like benefit us when it comes to that? Because I think that like unless we find one like kind of like place to put it all and it's a little bit open, I think that we're kind of like spread a little thin right now. You know what I mean?
It hurts. Like it hurts. Streaming right now hurts all creatives in the film space because it's either you make your own channel, your own streaming service, or you're paying out the ass to hopefully get on something like Shout TV, right?
Or
Tubi, yeah, or
Right.
Bro,
Peacock
that's
or
how
some shit.
Bro, that's what
It's just too many options.
And see, I think Tubi is a really good example because they're the biggest younger company that's out there, right? Tubi hasn't been around for very long. They're just starting now to get big.
Yeah.
I think, and I see them open to working with independent creators. Like I see it, like they're really fucking open to it. And then there are companies like fucking Discotech. Discotech is fucking awesome, man. Do you know how fucking cool they are, dude? They're putting out fucking Blu-rays of Black RX, fucking subbed and restored. Like, you know how fucking insane that is?
Which again, they have the money to do it.
Yeah.
They can buy the license, they can buy the imagery, they can buy the processing. It's more of like, that's cool. Now pay attention to DIY and the rest of the fucking community you're trying to sell this shit to and say, oh shit, what if we did XYZ? Because, hey, we could put a more Red Fox on Shout TV. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because the people watching them be like, oh, cool. I think I know about this, or I don't know about this. It's one of the things of getting it in front of like the mass populace, where it's not even a streaming service, just more through like weird events and collaborations and weird shit like that. Like where it would skyrocket a lot of this shit. Just tokusatsu in general, both kaiju and spandex.
Bro, I love this genre, man. This has been such a really good conversation too, because I think it's much needed, and like it's just fun to think about, like, the fans have, like, it's only, I think at the end of the day too, I think it's also like, as much as we love as much as we love this stuff too, sometimes some things are a little bit out of control, i.e. Power Rangers, but it's up to us to kind of kind of forge our own path in the community, and like, how do we, what can we do about it, right? Like, if we really love this shit, like,
we can make it look cool for the normal person.
Yeah, bro, we don't exactly, like, we don't want to see this die. Like, keep it fucking going, man. Like, you don't have to have a bunch of fucking people. Like, you don't have to have the fucking show go, dude. Like, there's so many good creators out there, and I think the creator space for this community is so fucking important. And I can't stress that enough. Any of the fucking creators in this fucking sub niche on the Western Front you guys are so fucking important to this fucking genre. But I don't think that anyone would have heard of this genre, bro, if it wasn't for any of the fucking creators, bro. Like Squall Charleston, fucking Shuki, fucking Dawson Rider, like any of these fucking OGs who are putting out tokusatsu content, fucking Henshin Justice, Keith Hayward, bro, fucking legend, bro. Like, no one would have heard about this stuff, bro, if it wasn't for the original content creators, and it wasn't for these fucking creators who are out there fucking consistently, like, busting their fucking ass.
Shout out to the Japanese dudes doing toy belt reviews, because I'll be watching that shit 3 a.m.
Bro, the customs, bro. But no, like,
oh yeah, those are cool too. Yeah,
bro, like the fucking, like, the hard mods, bro. That shit's insane. But like, literally, bro, like, thank you, like, to every fucking creator out there. Like, the tokusatsu creator space is so fucking important. I think that, we are I hate to toot our own horn, but I really do think that at the end of the day, we're the reason why the fandom's alive. We're the reason why Power Rangers is going. I mean, obviously, toy sales, whatever. Like, we're such a
toy sales, like, are whatever. They're whatever.
But we wouldn't have content if it wasn't for us. bro, we wouldn't have cons if it wasn't for us, man. Like there
Yep.
wouldn't be
Hey
power
man,
dedicated.
these conversations in general, are like you said, like are super important. The people wouldn't be able to make any money if it wasn't for us.
No,
And there's power in the people.
yeah, man,
It's
literally
all
power to
on the
power.
people.
Yeah, literally, man. Like that's why I think grassroots media stuff is so important, and getting people to enjoy the media and be like, oh shit, cool. This is not just Power Rangers. This is look, this is Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw.
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
bro,
I
I
love
saw a
showing
shot,
people like weird shit that I sample, and they're like,
bro.
"That's from what?"
Bro, I talking to girls and being a Kamen Rider fan is fucking funny because I went to see Shin Kamen Rider and then bro, I was telling a girl I was talking to at the time and I was like, yeah, I'm going to see Shin Kamen Rider, and she's like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. Are you like you don't know what Kamen Rider is? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, I forgot I'm autistic as fuck, but and not everyone knows about Kamen Rider, and not everyone
Which I
knows.
mean, like that's a big part to educate on too, because even like my partner, she didn't know about Kamen Rider or any of this other shit, but like it's more of just kind of like showing when you have that interest and you have that passion for something, and it comes out positive and it comes out to a way people can kind of see that glow in your eyes when you talk about it. That's
Me.
way more powerful than just fucking getting a Hasbro
Exactly.
license or some shit.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. And then a collab with fucking Bandai. Like, dude, honestly,
I've
I
worked with
dude,
Bandai. It's done nothing
I
for me. Like it was
yeah,
cool. It was a fun event, but like it didn't really push the hobby in my local area any further than actually having like podcasts and local build meets and shit like that, where it's like, oh, we're all building the same product line or whatever. It's more
yeah.
about building that community because, like, again, you can have all these different creators and shit, but if it's not a central community where people fucking get along
Right.
and can listen to different opinions about shows and not get fucking beat red in the face and want to fight people, that's
Right.
what we need. Is like, hey, look, I grew up with Power Rangers. I was their demographic. I fucking loved it. And I love it so much. But when I learned about Super Sentai, I was like, oof. I really like this a lot better. But again, I'm not going to shit on someone because they love Power Rangers, but that is the current state of a lot of this shit. It's just people shitting on each other for their takes online. And again, we see that the corporations, the big, people behind it, they see this shit. They read this shit all the time.
As long
That
as
is
we
literally
stay
someone's
vocal,
job.
as long as we
Yeah.
stay vocal with with just being kind of inviting and having spaces like this that are kind of inviting to newer people and just, hey, are you a cool person? Fucking hang out with us. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's what's gonna kind of shine. If I was a executive, if I was really looking at things, one person could look at the division, but I would actually look at like how we all kind of come together to really voice our opinions on things. And I would actually kind of think that like the community is actually a lot stronger than like what it would be, because a weak
Yeah.
fandom couldn't get someone to log off of social media. You feel me?
Bro,
Yeah.
we bully.
Toxic?
Bro,
I don't think it is. I don't think so. I think that people are just like a little
too
passionate,
vocal.
and I think that the people that are active, I think that the actors just aren't understanding how passionate these people are. I think that we
No.
live in a time where these things can come off very passive aggressive, and people can kind of like give their
People are
own
protective.
context to tweet. Yeah, very protective.
People are protective
And
of their special interests.
rightfully so. And I'm not knocking the actors for reacting the way that they do, but I just think that you got to look at it like it's not, there aren't rules on who can be a very active fan base. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if there was something that went against the Star Wars protocol, Star Wars fans would say something. Just like how when things go against the Pokemon protocol, Pokemon
He
fans
said
say
protocol.
something.
He said
Like
protocol.
I just think that
It's the reaction from the property that matters, because another thing too is like, especially what I've experienced with Gundam and shit, is that they're getting free game, they're getting free marketing insights, they're getting free analytics, they're getting free consumer reporting data of their whole entire customer base and fan base, and they sometimes just choose to ignore it, and it's wild.
if they
Bro,
took the Nintendo approach, there would be so much more. There would be so much happiness in the world. Because let's
fuck
be real,
Nintendo.
anytime there's a Pokemon that comes out, that's normally what people say. Fuck Nintendo. And you know what? They still buy the game. They still watch the
Mm-hmm.
show. They
Yep.
still love us.
Bro,
So
I
it's like,
haven't bought a
what is the
Pokemon game in
problem?
6 years. Bro, I earned my fucking Nintendo card. I haven't bought a Nintendo game in like 6 years, dude. Everything Nintendo I have on my Steam Deck is all fucking pirated. Not in this
I've bought
FBI.
I still buy that shit though. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
I
playing
don't
like
know.
I'm after I get off of here, I'm probably gonna play some Pokemon later tonight.
Yeah.
Like bro, like I'm gonna play some Sword. I'm gonna play Sword and Shield
but it's
or
because it's
or Scarlet
welcoming.
Violet. Yeah,
It's welcoming. Greed Corporation. Hey, listen, you're talking to some one of the more communist motherfuckers here, but like, it's something to where you can see the love. And again, it's also because it's a fucking Japanese property,
Well,
and
you know what?
you know,
They obviously don't love it enough. They got Chris Pratt to fucking play Mario, so voice Mario.
yeah,
So.
that was
I didn't have a
I
problem
liked
with
it.
that.
I liked it
I
though.
loved it. I thought like
It's
it was.
pretty
I thought
sick.
it was pretty cool.
Really,
You
I
can't
haven't
really
seen it.
tell it's him. You can't tell it's him. You can tell it's Charlie Day playing Luigi. It's fucking great, but like, it's more so less of like smaller stuff like that where, oh, they casted this actor to do this or this company's doing this, blah blah blah, and more so the fact that they're just doing it. And I think that's what Sentai Tokusatsu need is more Western American whatever companies just kind of embracing it. But it's also hard when you have companies like Toho who are notoriously hard on their season. I mean, they took down Subway and Pepsi and large corporations for embracing the culture, embracing the film.
I
Some
think
of them weren't
also-
even derogatory. They were
I
just
think-
using that property.
I think also too. I think also the problem is that like I don't know, Americans have like that's their Marvel and DC. Like that's their
Yeah,
that's
it's their Marvel.
bro. That shit's fucking sacred to them, man. Like that's an art to them, man. That
And
shit's been
honestly,
around since the 50s.
Rightfully so, because they saw what happened with Saban and are like, fuck this shit, dude. Like, come on, man. And it's one of those things where kind of like that nationwide like respect for the genre needs to kind of come back to Japan and really give their
It'll
flowers.
come back. It will come back. I think if we have some Shin, like if
Yes.
America could get something Shin related in English, whether if it was Godzilla, whether if it was we tried our best at doing Kamen Rider, like if we got a Shin and we did it the right way and we didn't pull any punches, I really think that it would really
Shin Voltron.
revitalize.
Bro.
We need like just like how there were all kinds of eras, you know what I'm saying? Like we're in the multiverse era. There was
Yeah.
the werewolf era and the vampire era, and then there was like the Harry Potter era.
We did
Like,
a
we need-
Tokusatsu era.
Pacific
We
Rim
need
tried
a
to do that.
Tokusatsu era.
Pacific Rim
Did
tried
they
to do that.
though?
I think yeah. I mean, they
they?
tried, and then or even like those movies just weren't done very well. And I think that there's a different
Well-
like quality to Shin movies that are a little bit grittier, a little bit different, but just kind of felt more.
Shin
I say
movies-
this with a
Shin-
grain of salt, but grounded in reality a little.
Shin movies felt like Shin movies are like borderline art house movies, man. Like look at Shin Kamen Rider, dude. Bro, they had the
Yeah.
bro. That's a borderline art house movie, and you can't tell me otherwise. Like, bro, they had the fucking Kubrick stare in the fucking Kamen Rider Hagi. Bro, he fucking Kubrick stared at the fucking camera. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they filmed half that movie on a fucking iPhone. Like,
Yeah, on an
shit.
iPhone, which is insane.
Bro, like iPhone 13 Pros apparently. Like they literally filmed this on the phone I have, or the Pro Maxes, bro. Like they filmed some
Just
of those
going to
shots
show like we could do that too. You know,
but just with a little bit of just they turned their heads or they just said, "Hey, sure, you could do it." And especially all you need is like they were like, "What you need? Three grand?" You know what I'm saying? What do you need? $3,000 to buy a few iPhones?
Sam
Chump
Raimi,
change.
Sam Raimi did
You know
it.
what I mean?
Sam Raimi. Listen, Sam Raimi made Evil Dead on like what less than $4,000.
It's finding those motherfuckers that are willing to do that though, and that's where it becomes hard because everyone's thinking of it. I have tons of tokusatsu indie film ideas, but I don't have hundreds of dollars just to dump on the shit I would need for it. it's kind of cultivating those creators and those thinkers and those people that are willing to do these things in the States. Exactly. And bring them together.
I've had conversations with that man, and he has ideas, and he knows what he wants, and he's really good at using like what I've seen his designs, I've seen the shit he's done, just to, like, things he built for fun. Like, they're all really fucking cool, and like and it's all about DIY, low budget, dude. Like, I'm telling you, like, Sam Raimi made a fucking cult classic fucking movie franchise, right? Off of less than like $5,000, man. Like, it's fucking insane. Like,
it's just a lot of that stuff gets shut down too, and that's where again it comes back to where like
you can draw influence,
gaining the respect of kind of these larger companies per se is a lot harder than just getting a license. Like, anyone can get a fucking license if you have the money for it, but like truly working with Tsuburaya, Toho, and shit, and making something impactful. Yes, there are toy makers making Ultraman toys. That's cool. They're gonna sell. It's gonna be cool, and people are gonna have it. And then that's it. That's all that happens with it. It's the people that are gonna continue doing the toys or whatever property it is that like really kind of brings up everyone else with it and inspires people to do like tokusatsu shit and all this other stuff. So like, I really do think it is very much like scale modeling shit. We're educating people on the methods and the film and other aspects that we don't get to see can really inspire next generation or even just people in our age group to actually do shit.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, it was awesome having you guys on here tonight.
We've been here for 2 hours. Damn,
bro, 2 hours is the longest fucking episode 10, baby. Well, I'm gonna have you guys both back on.
I'm down.
Let's do it soon. I'm fucking hungry. I've been munching. There's some wings from Costco downstairs. So I'm about to go fucking destroy that. Guys, it was awesome. Thank you to everyone that fucking came out tonight. It was a little bit different setup. I'm out at the fucking desk tonight. I just figured I'd run the projector in the background.
No, I've been loving the visuals. I've been loving the
visuals. Sick.
Bro, I've been changing it up like momentarily. So right now I got a Saturday night Cartoon Network thing. So they got Transformers Energon on that bitch. I was watching Big O before. Bro,
is that tonight? Is that tonight? Like the Adult Swim Cartoon Network?
No, bro. This is all from fucking YouTube, bro. There's a guy called Serial Milk VHS Productions.
All 4K.
Bro, and he puts like all that shit into like he puts like every single Toonami block. Like he literally produces like his own Toonami blocks with full commercials, bumps. He literally, I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he literally rips like full blown Toonami, Kids WB, fucking Boomerang, fucking literally everything. Old Cartoon Network fucking blocks, bro. I'll put the link in the Discord, bro. This shit's insane. I'll be falling asleep to this shit, and it's like ASMR to me, bro. Like look at that, Yu Hakusho, bro.
It's so sick,
bro. And it feels like I'm watching TV again. Like I'm a little fucking kid, bro. Like this is inner child healing, man. Like this shit's so fucking cool, and having it on the projector is even badass. Like I don't. My old TV fucking broke. I had this college, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna spend $80 on a projector, and it's the best thing I fucking love, bro.
Honestly, well worth it.
Bro, like $80 for this fucking thing, bro. Like with sound, bro, this is a deal.
Hell yeah.
Deal. But listen, guys, I'm gonna be on the Discord probably later after I go.
No, for sure. Definitely gonna hit you guys.
I'm gonna dip after this one. I've been talking for 4 hours,
bro.
5 hours.
Oh yeah, bro. You need to go. You need some milk. All right, yeah. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, guys. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks, y'all, for coming out.
Yeah, later. For sure.
Hold on. There we go.